Hi and welcome everyone. This is the Hobo Prepper and I am Friar Tuck. Okay, so I'm on a bit of a warpath, and anybody who knows me and how I feel about my sleep, you'll understand my level of anger right about now. But it brings up a great topic that I can talk about, which there are 4 basic necessities that if you provide nothing else, these 4 things, if you provide these to the homeless, you will give them more chance and more opportunity to become not only successful, but also to have an opportunity to get off the streets, or, just be able to maintain themselves while they fix the other issues that they've got to deal with. And the first thing, and I think it's probably the most important, is sleep. Why would I say sleep? Well, if you're up for more than 24 hours, the brain chemistry, how erratic your brain chemistry goes, and then some of these white dopers, they're up for anywhere from 2 to 7, and there's a few crazy ones that go all the way up to 14 days on these benders without sleeping, or if they sleep, they'll sleep a couple of hours every couple of days. And can you imagine the amount of screwed upness that somebody has in their head because of how much their brain chemistry is thrown off? Now, once you get rest, you are going to recover, and you are going to be able to do a little bit better. But at the end of the day, if you want to be able to be a functional human being, 1, and 2, if you want to be able to go out and rejoin the real world, this is something that you are going to have. It is a necessity. Now, I will give my conclusion at the end, but I want to give these 4. All right, the second one is security. Okay, and this is something that is really, compared to what I'm used to, I've never had anything stolen until this time out. I've never, ever had anything stolen. I've lost things, but I've never had anything stolen. And security is probably one of the most important things. You don't have very much when you come out. And usually when you come out with your best gear, because that was the last time you had any real money. And so you're going to come out with things that are good for you, that will allow you to be able to, 1, get your sleep, and 2, just to be able to function as a human being while you try and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay, and here they've got 2 cameras that work. That kind of irritates me, because that's what started the chain reaction to me having to give up my bike, because I can't count on it to be secure. And I had this problem even in Tallahassee, where they're like, yeah, we got a bike rack, but no, we don't put a camera on it. Good luck with that. And it's just being secure in your effects and the things that you have. Not only that, but just being able to feel safe that, nobody's going to come up and try and steal your stuff or mess with you in the middle of the night, or all these different things. This is something that shelters are responsible for. This is one of the 4 things that they should be focused on. The other thing, and I think that every shelter gets this right, is that food. Real simple, food. It's the one thing you can't screw up. You make, unless you undercook it or overcook it or just burn the hell out of it, it's really hard to screw up in the kitchen. Okay, and to make sure that everybody at least gets something to eat. That's the one thing that all shelters seem to get right. Okay, and then, lastly is, it's being able to have access to basic resources such as medical, dental, and other medical needs that you may have, because a lot of people, they come out here because of health concerns, whether it be mental health, physical health, or just they got injured on the job. It happens to a lot of people, what brings them outside. And so I think that one thing that shelters should do is, I think that this is actually something that actually happens across the board as well. But the thing is usually they are spread out. It's very hard to be able to get all the resources in one place. And so this means that you have to spend most of your day going from one side of town to the other side of town. Maybe sleep on this side of town tonight, that side of town tomorrow. Now, part of that keeps the homeless migrating, and so that it's done intentionally. But when you have all those resources there, it allows you the opportunity to spend less time trying to acquire your basic needs and more time trying to focus on the solution to your problem. Now, this is my opinion, and I think that my opinion is pretty spot on, and I would love to hear what you guys think. Okay, but as a shelters are responsible for these 4 things. You should, when you step on the grounds of a shelter, they should make sure that you get sleep. Now, you're always going to have that one guy that has untreated sleep apnea that's just going to snore like a freight train. It sucks. It seems like that's part of the reason why I don't go out into a shelter to begin with. And the other thing is you shouldn't have to be in the shelter to be secure. If you're sleeping within a certain radius of like a block or so, or a half a block of the shelter, you should be able to count on your own security. And the thing is this seems to be one of the biggest failures amongst the shelter system. And I think in a lot of ways it perpetuates the homeless system. It takes people that came out with some optimism of, okay, maybe I can do this, maybe I can get up on my feet and I can get things done, and it completely rips them down and puts them into something where instead of being able to get off the streets in maybe 2 to 3 months, now they're not getting off the streets for 2 to 3 years. Okay, because if you don't have the proper sleeping gear when you're out here because you lose your stuff, well, it's going to make life miserable. It's going to make life hard. You're not going to really have the motivation. Like for example, sleep. Okay, last night, and I'm sorry about the wind, guys. We've had 10, 20 mile an hour winds since yesterday. It was fun sleeping in it too. But last night I was kept up till almost 4 a.m. because they decided to have a block party in the parking lot. Which is I sleep on the outskirts when I come into Grace, because if I need to accomplish things, or I walk there and I walk back, and my legs are tired, I'm kind of tired, it's getting late in the day, I figure I'll just sleep here, I'll leave in the morning, and be able to have that option. And the thing is, I was kept up till 4 o'clock last night. I maybe got 2 hours sleep. I'm lucky if I got 2 hours sleep, because I still got to be a functional human being during the day. It's not like I could just sleep all day. No. Because here's the slippery slope to all that. You take away somebody's sleep, then they're going to start getting into things that they probably shouldn't. I have a story that I remember from Portland, is that there was an individual. He told me, he's like, look, it's illegal to sleep at night. So I got to stay up all night so I don't get caught up by the cops, because if I get caught up by the cops, then that goes on my record and I can't get a job. And if I sleep during the day, well, then I can't go and I can't get anything done. And so therefore I'm stuck out here because, I'm not allowed to sleep at night. And then, during the day I can't be productive. And then on top of that, in order to be able to keep that going, that is what led the kid into methamphetamine. And, just think about it. This happens. I mean, if I keep losing the amount of sleep and having my stuff stolen from me, or just having my wealth or my property fleeced from me while being out here, because you got to go, the shelters is where the resources are. You will have to go to a shelter at some point, and you may end up having to hunker down in that shelter for a night or two, depending upon what goes on. So to say, oh, I won't go, well, you know what, you will eventually. And then the thing is how secure is your stuff? The thing is these are supposed to be safe places. These are supposed to be places where people can go and be able to get back up on their feet, get their rest, and be able to be functional. Those that don't want to be functional, I'm trying to have compassion, but it's kind of hard to have compassion for people that just because they lack the respect for themselves, they have no respect for anyone else. And, you know, when it comes to the ultimate thing, one of the things my grandfather told me about how education used to work back in the day before it became what it is, what we see, is that, yeah, you had 30 kids in a classroom, but there's maybe 3 or 4 of them that wanted to learn. The rest of them, they weren't going to amount to anything because they had no interest in learning. And luckily, they were able to be farm boys and stuff like that. We don't have that anymore. But the thing was, the lesson that I learned from all that is that there are those that, if you are able to provide them the services that they need, the ones that are actually not only seeking it, but looking to better their situation and put themselves in a better spot, those are the people that the shelter should be catering to. And the problem that I have here at Grace Marketplace is that they're catering to the lowest common denominator while screwing the people that are actually needing the actual help. Because I wouldn't be surprised if just the conditions here, I see why so many people leave Grace Marketplace, and I've tried to have some sort of compassion for it, because I mean it's needed, it's necessary, but I think that the way that the leadership is, and not only just the way that the leadership is, but just the way it plays down through the chain of command, it is something that that it's causing more problems than not. Because I mean, you know, you take away somebody's sleep, or you wear them out. Eventually, what's going to end up happening is those people are going to end up part of the statistics of being drug users and you know, lifelong criminals and stuff like that. Now, did these people, if these people were given the proper and the due help because they showed up saying, I'm ready to do this, and then, you know, the system actually works for them, but at least here, no, it's not just here. It's every place that I've been since I've been out here. This seems to be something very common. Either they want to keep you institutionalized in the prison system, like Tallahassee, or what they want to do is they want to cater. Like, for example, there's a girl, she comes, she rips a poster off the window, throws a temper tantrum, gets fed before everybody else, comes back a little bit later and gets a second plate. Okay, but the thing is that when I asked the advocates, well, why did you give that to her? Well, we had to diffuse the situation. No, what you did is you enabled it, and you're showing everybody that this is Lord of the Flies. And then on top of that, then somebody who's like, generally follows the rules, really is doing their own thing, trying to get back up on their feet. Okay, I'm sick, I need to use the bathroom. I'm not going to make it to the other end of the compound. You have a bathroom here. It's meant for the people in the parking lot. I'm one of the people in the parking lot. Let me use the bathroom. Oh, no, you need to go to the dorm. Well, guess what? I had to take a shower and then wash my shorts in the shower. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating. And, you know, if you're trying to do the right thing and you're getting shat on, where all the ones that are doing the wrong things are getting rewarded, what are you going to do? You know, and so the problem that's becoming worse, that is worsening throughout not only America, but here at Gainesville and all over the place, it's because this is happening. And this is, you hear this so much. Now, there are some places that are good. I mean, you're always going to have that pocket where there are good people, but for the most part, no, it's not really that way. So, you know, this is my thoughts, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you want to help the channel, like, subscribe, share. I need 1,000 subscribers. Also, if you want to help the channel in other ways, you can come over to Patreon. The other links are in the description. And hey, you know, just one final update since I got about 1 minute left. I'm planning on leaving no later than the 10th, whether I've got to walk or I take a bus. But I have priced out a bus, and I am trying to raise up $35 to take the bus to Jacksonville, and then that puts me right on the East Coast Greenway, which means I can walk or not walk, however it works. But I'm going to probably spend a couple of weeks there, and I think each city that I get into, my first objective is to get enough money together to buy a bus ticket, to the next place that I want to go. I already have that in mind, so that when it's time for me to go, I can go, because I'm starting to feel like I've been here in Gainesville too long, but the scheduled interview was pushed so far out that, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.